couple of days ago, I was going on a walk with my youngest daughter, Fiona, and halfway down our street, there's a section that has some culverts running under it, and there's large, crushed up rocks that line the banks of both sides of that the street where the culverts are going. And I was standing at the top, and Fiona and the dog were, jumping from rock to rock and running around down in this area. And when it was about time to go, she starts bounding back up the hill and up these rocks, climbing up these rocks. And she said, "Hey, Dad," she says, "I've got such sticky shoes. They're amazing that I can climb anything." And it was certainly amusing. The shoes that she has on are something we probably got at Walmart or Payless shoes, and they're perfectly fine shoes, but they're nothing special when it comes to rock climbing shoes. But I found it very interesting, her perspective, is that her default assumption was that she was doing it and she could do it, and then she just tried to find a reason why. For her, the reason why she was able to do that was her shoes were magically sticky. Now, I'm sure we could give her any other pair of shoes, or if you know my daughter Fiona, she could probably climb the same thing in a pair of high heels just fine. And I don't know if she'd say she had magic high heels, but she went with the default that she could do it. And then she figured out the reason why. And I thought, man, what a different perspective than so many times that we as adults have. We start with that we can't do something, or that it's not going to get better, or it's not going to improve, or that this is always going to be this bad. And then we kind of think of fictitious reasons as to why that's the case. Certainly in life there's both good and bad. There's positive experiences and negative experiences. And I'm not here to say that every experience in life is positive. But it reminded me that we should start by telling the truth to ourselves. We're so quick to say things in ways that are not necessarily true. That, this situation is never going to get better, or I'm always going to be stuck at home, or I'll never recover financially from this, or everybody I know is going to be suffering and in pain. And while some of those pieces are sometimes true, how we think and what we say to ourselves changes how we look at things. For Fiona, she looks at it with a positive attitude, and she says, "Yeah, I can climb this because I have magic shoes. Because I have sticky shoes." A lot of us look at life and we say, well, we can't do that. Or we can't do this. And then we think of reasons to justify what we've already deemed to be true. I think the important piece is to go back and say, is what we're saying initially true? Sometimes, yes, there are situations in life that are going to be painful, that they're going to be challenging. We're in one of them right now. But even in the midst of the challenge, even in the midst of the difficulties, there are joys to be seen. There are lessons that we can learn. There are benefits to be taken advantage of. There's time that we didn't have otherwise. And so part of what we need to be careful is that we have the perspective of a kid. That we look for the joy. We look for the reasons why something can happen. We look for the positive in something. When we talk about love, love is thinking the best in others. We can look at someone else's actions and so quickly judge all the reasons that they're doing it to harm us or hate us, or they must be bad motivations, or they can't possibly be doing this for any good reason. We look at our own motivations and we think, man, I've got all the best intentions and all the best motivations, and no one could possibly do it better. Love requires us of just simply thinking the best. So as we're looking at this, as we're approaching life, as we're going through these difficult and unusual times, are we looking at it with an already decided negative mindset that this is the end of times? That God can't do anything good out of this? That this is going to permanently destroy us? That we'll never recover from this? Or are we looking at it with the faith of a kid? That says, God's got this under control. I don't exactly know how it's all going to work out, but I'm going to be determined to look for the reasons why it's good. I'm going to be determined to look for the things that are good in the midst of this. I'm going to choose in the midst of these things to give thanks. Paul tells us that in everything we are to give thanks. In fact, he says, it's the will of God for you. It's the will of God for me. Let's give thanks. Let's rejoice. Let's look for the benefits. Let's not focus on all the things that we don't have or can't have or we're losing. But let's be fair and honest and also look at all the things that we have, that we're gaining, that we see God doing, and the blessings we enjoy. God bless. Love you.